Okay, right, and we're gonna go live in a sec, mate.
Yep, sweet as.
Okay. Okay, I think. Let's see. I'm waiting until we see a timer, but I think we're coming live.
Yeah.
They've changed the layout, so like it looks so different. But yeah, okay, yeah, we're live. Sweet.
In studio, they've changed the layout in studio. Oh yeah, we're live.
We are
Cool.
live. But
Just
yeah.
got the note.
Hello, everyone. I hope you had a
So,
lovely Christmas. And look, Josh is already in. I knew it. I knew this guy
he's
would be
not.
in.
Is he
He's always
really?
there instantly. I'm telling you, Josh
Oh
is
my
going to be on the
god.
money. He's going to join straight away, and you are. Thank you, Josh, for joining as quick as you do. I love you, man.
I'm organised as ever because, mate, I was sat looking at our faces on Discord, and really, I should actually have the YouTube up so I can see the
Yeah,
comments coming in.
yeah, it might be a good shout, but yeah.
So,
But yeah,
turn the volume down.
I'm glad we're doing this. We do like one a year, and it's finally that time where you guys get to ask all your burning questions. And there's already a bunch that are pre-submitted, so thank you very much. Are you peaking because it's really loud? Is it? Okay, well, I'll adjust the settings a little bit. Let me see to that. Let's go on OBS. Is it me in particular, or is it Jack that's loud? Okay, I've turned my volume down a little bit. Hopefully that's fine. I'd rather be too loud than too quiet, though, to be honest. But yeah. But Jack, tell us, mate.
Right.
How's your 2025 been, mate?
I mean, busy, mate. Busy. I won't go into too much because I feel like a lot of the questions will, cover that themselves. But wait, can you hear me? Because I
Yeah,
can't hear you.
I can hear you, mate. Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because there's a lag on the bloody audio.
Oh right.
I'm just gonna focus on the chat because I'm looking at us talking. It's so
Yeah.
off-putting with the audio.
I can imagine. I have us on two different screens, so yeah, like I'm. Yeah, no, it's you can't focus on it with the lag, mate.
But yeah, no, I mean, in short, guys, busy. I don't know where the year's gone. I can't believe that it's rolled round into another year, and the fact that we've been doing the channel as well for what, pushing, it'll be 5 years effectively. Next year, it will be next year, won't it? It'll be 5 years that we've done the channel. So absolutely, absolutely crazy. But what about yourself, mate?
Yeah, no, pretty good. Like, definitely better in the latter half. I had like, I moved and there was a big unemployment stint, but like, yeah, managed to flip it and yeah, life's slowly getting better. So yeah, and then the channel as well, a lot of highs on the channel as well, so a lot of achievements. So yeah, like, but yeah, let's talk about. Did you want to start with like the YouTube or the
Absolutely.
Discord, mate?
Let's do with YouTube first.
Okay, right, let's have a little look.
And I'm just going to go from the top down, mate. So, Queen of the Void asks, what was your highlight? Well, actually, there's a few questions. What was your highlight this year? So I'll throw it over to you first, mate.
Yeah, I don't know if you mean channel or in my life. So I mean, I guess I
Oh,
could just answer both. Channel wise, it might be getting the shout out from Supermassive Games on one of their Directive 8020 posts, like, which is a massive achievement to us because we just started this podcast just to talk about these games. We didn't think we would ever get in their attention, but like the fact that they approached us and was like, look, can we use one of your quotes that you titled one of your videos, because we said this game looks outstanding, which it did. We're completely truthful about one of the trailers. I can't remember which particular one it was, and they were like, yeah, can we use your quote? We were like, yeah. And it's just insane because I think you've got like a bunch of really big game studios that are like corporations, and within the Instagram post there's like 4 reels. I think we're the second one or the third one, and we're just in the midst of like IGN and like game studios or something. And I'm like, that's a big achievement. So yeah, that's definitely the channel one for the year. And in terms of personal, I gave a best man speech at one of my friends' weddings, and I was just really proud of it because I put a lot of effort into making a funny video, and yeah, it just like I was so nervous because it was really weird and wacky, and I'm like, if this doesn't land, I'm just gonna have a room of silence. Like, what the hell is going on? But it completely landed, and yeah, like a lot of people still mention it and like kind of like say, "Oh, you're the guy who did the video." That's cool. So yeah, like I overcame quite. I was really nervous about doing it. I was trembling beforehand. So the fact that I was able to do the speech and it went as well as it did, yeah, massive kind of personal achievement to me. So yeah, how about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I think channel wise, I'm going to have to echo what you said. I'd say, if we're being honest, I'd say this year it's probably been our slowest year since we've started.
Yeah,
We've not had a lot of new games, have we? We've had lost records, um, and there was Dispatch, which obviously you're covering now, right?
yeah.
Um, but beyond that, we've mostly been looking back at games. So the fact that we've got that little nod from Supermassive was absolutely insane. And you actually told me about that, which actually leads me nicely into one of my personal highlights at the very beginning of my stag do, didn't you? Was it Gatwick Airport in one of the spoons, and you come up to me, didn't you? And you showed me the email. I was like, damn, like that's so
Yeah.
impressive. But yeah, I mean, as far as personal, two highlights this year. One of which is what I've just mentioned, the stag do. Uh, Absolutely brilliant. A lot of fun, not a lot of sleep, but it was, from the get go, we was always doing something that was really enjoyable. Um, I mean, to list stuff off: escape room, go karting, shooting. We played some werewolf, didn't we? I don't know if anyone watching knows what werewolf is, but that was a really fun game, and had lots of nights out as well. So yeah, it
The
was
jazz
it was
bar. The jazz bar.
the jazz bar with no jazz. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that was fun. And yeah, so that definitely stands out. And then I think the other time was probably when I went away with Laura. So we went away for a few days to Switzerland, and where we went to the city of Geneva, but our hotel was about 10 minutes up the road of Lake Geneva, and it's the most beautiful place I've ever been. Um, so picturesque, very sound of music. Like, you've got brilliant blue sky, you've got some fields, the mountains in the background, like the Alps, and like little sort of like villagey sort of houses and stuff. Very picturesque and beautiful place, and I got to try out a little bit of my French as well, which was very satisfying when I was getting on the public transport. So yeah, that was my highlights.
Oh, nice,
The
man.
next one, mate,
Tell you what,
is
I'm just
what?
gonna welcome in. Hello, thank you for joining Lola, Arkham, and Tiger. It's three of our regulars.
Hey,
All good to
oh
see you
wow,
guys. Yeah. So,
oh
sup, lads?
fantastic,
Nice
yeah.
to see you two together. Hello, as you can see, got myself a new profile pic. Bonus pic. I'm sorry, but the picture is so small on that screen that I'm not going to be able to tell you what it is from afar. I don't think I know what that is. I'm afraid. And I just got back from holiday last time you streamed. Oh no, well I'm very sorry for that couple. But yeah, I won't get into that too much. But yeah, either way though, I'm happy to see you. So thank you guys for joining. But yeah, what was the second part of that question, mate? It was
So still from Queen of the Void, and they say, what are you excited for next year?
um
Again, it could be channel, it could be
yeah,
personal.
I'm
I'm not
just
sure.
gonna say, I mean, there's a few things really. I'm gonna have very much like a sort of a boring do stuff for myself year. But the thing I'm most looking forward to, and it's gonna be the same for you. But your wedding, mate, you're getting married, and yeah, no, I'm looking forward to being there. It should be a riot.
Yeah. 2026 could be will be a very big year for me. Um, Getting married in March, and that's completely crept up on us now. Considering I think it was back in January that we was at the venue and we picked it out and confirmed it, and to think that we're a few months away now is just insane. So there's that, but we're also looking to buy a house as well. So all very, very exciting. Then on top of that, there'll be a honeymoon and whatnot as well. So yeah, it's crazy old time. And as far as the channel, I mean, we've got Directive 8020 to look forward to. maybe there'll be noise on Wolf Among Us 2. I'm not holding out much hope at this point. But we'll just have to see what gets served up. There's usually something that comes out of nowhere. So, yeah, I'd say that's what my 2026 looks like.
Nice.
Um,
Next one, mate. What is a personal butterfly effect that has happened to you? So, I mean, we could talk about the story about how we met because, like, butterfly effect, the channel wouldn't happen without it. Where if you hadn't, seen the ticker on Facebook that I liked to Telltale Walking Dead page, you wouldn't have asked me about these games. We probably wouldn't have got as close as we did, and maybe the channel doesn't happen. So, you just sort of seeing something on social media, that is the butterfly effect right there. Another big one is the one I mentioned on the channel where my mate was sick at work. I had to cover his shift, and then I couldn't go on Dartmoor where Jess from Until Dawn was visiting. So I could have met Jess from Until Dawn, but because of my twat mate, that never materialised. So thank you to him. But yeah, so there's a negative one for you. I don't know if you could think of any, chat.
yeah, the one I'll go with is just going to university. So I remember I was at college. I did a third year at college, and I picked out my 5 options. Those that have been to university will sort of know how this works. You got to write a UCAS letter, and I picked my 5 options. And Coventry Uni, which is the one I actually went to, I didn't have that one in my original list. I spoke to this woman, and she said, "Look, these 5 are very potential, but you might want to get some other universities where the requirements are a little bit easier in there." So it forced me to go back and look through the unis, and I then stumbled on Coventry, and I did English literature, and I loved the layout of the course. It was originally further away from home than I wanted to go, but I think that decision alone has done so much. Like, I feel like going there means that I wouldn't necessarily. I feel like going there changed my life so much, not only because obviously I met you, lad, and we've done the channel and stuff, but meeting Laura
Yeah.
and also living up north. I feel like I would never necessarily have been living up north had I not gone to uni, because I've already gone far away from home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I put so much emphasis on my uni years, because I feel like it was a big pivot point for me.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's really weird because it's the same. You have 5 UCAS options, don't you? And
Mm.
I had my 4 in mind, and none of them were Coventry. And then like I just had a fifth one, and I just selected it because I had to fill it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick one of the others anyway. So I just put Coventry in there, and then yeah, like conditional offer, I was like, well, I'll go for my open day thing, and I just fell in love with the city, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to go here. So yeah, it's just really weird how it's kind of worked out for both of
Mm.
us there. So yeah. I'm going to read some of the comments that are in the live, mate. So Lola has put nice Kamsky cosplay, and you're welcome. Yeah, I am the king of the androids, of course. I am growing my hair out again, so yeah. But nah, lovely to see that you're all doing well. This is about to be something releases before The Wolf Among Us 2. Oh, okay. Tiger's got a butterfly effect as well, I think. One for me is that if I never interacted with your channel, I would never have had the courage to talk more, and I never would have become an admin for another channel. Well, that's awesome. I'm like, because like I'm not saying like we do these videos for ourselves. It is just kind of a bit of a passion project, but just to see that it's got a positive effect on people, that's just nuts to me. So like, yeah, like I can always just like hold my chin high to say that we've had a positive impact on the channel. So I'm really glad that you've had that.
Yeah, here. Did you want to move on to the next one,
Yeah,
mate?
so we have a question here from Josh, who's in the thing. So we'll talk about you, mate. Do you plan to play any of the delisted Telltale games you have not done on the channel yet? And yeah, 100%. I recently became a part of a Steam family, and there's a load of Telltale games in there. So like, we could go back and we could do Game of Thrones. We could do Borderlands. We could do like the Sam and Maxes and stuff. There's so many in there. And yeah, I would love to. I think though with Telltale, our priority is getting through the Walking Dead series because like we've got Optimus shown, but we've got a new Frontier to play, and then we've even got the final season. The thing is like because with the games we cover on the channel, there's a lot that has been pushed back. Quantic Dream, Star Wars Eclipse doesn't have a release date. It could be in the next 5 years. It could be in the next 10 years. Telltale Games have kind of like, you know, they probably don't really exist anymore, to be honest. Supermassive Games, we're hot on them. Like, obviously, Life is Strange, you know, they're a bit murky there. We're hot on them. But Telltale, like, we've retrospectively done a lot of games, and yeah, there's like one more Life is Strange to cover. We've pretty much done all of Supermassive Games, bar a few exclusions. Telltale is the one studio where we have an absolute library to get through. So you can definitely count on the fact that we will be doing Telltale games in the future. It's just equally we're not rushing to do it because Telltale's almost like our emergency videos. Like if we need a game to cover and either we can't think of anything or we need a game just to fill some time before a game gets released, we'll always be able to look at Telltale because there are so many games, even the Batman series, which I know we're hot to cover soon. So yeah, like don't you worry. But you mentioned delisted. It depends what you mean by delisted as well, because I'm not sure what you mean. But like Telltale games in general, there's a bunch that we plan to play. If it's accessible to me and I can play it, I'll try to.
I'm so jealous on that front as well because when I've been on the Xbox store and I, typed in Telltale Game of Thrones, and the fact that you can't play it anymore, like that does just suck. I mean, actually, funnily enough, I watched a playthrough of Telltale Game of Thrones recently just to like refresh and just started watching the TV series again. So I thought, what the heck, you know what? I'll watch a little bit of the game as well. But yeah, like there are certain things, especially as well, like being with an Xbox. Like some of you guys know about this, but it is almost like Xbox is like getting slowly phased out, and especially with like not having the Quantic Dream games on there already, and the delisted Telltale ones. It's just almost like, blimey, like I'm running out of stuff to potentially stream. So the FMVs have been quite good, but I have also, maybe some of you guys can clear this up, but there's like this game called The Council as well that I've heard about, which is meant to be choice based, very dialogue heavy, sort of quite similar to Telltale, and it's got quite a good review. And I just wondered what opinions were on it if any of you have played it. So that's one for you in the chat.
Oh,
Um, so
Anya has joined. Thank you for joining, Anya. Love you, sis. And you've put in a butterfly effect. Imagine if
oh, stop.
Free Finger Mike, that was my Until Dawn Wiki name. If he never joined the Until Dawn Wiki chat. And yeah, that's the thing as well, because like back in the day, I loved Until Dawn so much, but none of my mates played it. So I had to go online to find a group of friends. So I joined this Until Dawn community. Anya was a part of that, became friends with Anya, and then yeah, Anya's appeared in some videos. So yeah, that's a nice little butterfly effect there as well. Tatjana, thank you for joining. And yeah, you finally caught a stream. I know you're such a busy person, but it's epic to see you, Tatjana. So Tatjana's asked, mate, we've got a live, fresh question here. Do you play all Telltale games? Which ones are missing? Or did you play? So what have we covered? We've done all the Walking Dead's up to Michonne.
Yeah,
Expanse. We've done Expanse.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
there's a missing one. Oh, Wolf Among Us. We've done Wolf Among Us.
of course. Yeah, yeah,
In personally, we've both played Game of Thrones. I've played the first
yeah,
Batman, and you've played both Batmans. I don't know if you've done any more, but that's probably as far as my Telltale goes.
yeah, I think so. There was a Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't play that. I didn't play Borderlands either. Tales from the Borderlands.
Didn't play
Yeah, I think
Minecraft.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minecraft. Yeah, I think that's it.
Do you think you'll be able to get your hands on games that aren't no longer available in stores like Minecraft Story Mode? Yeah. If it's on Steam or Epic, or if it's accessible by PC for me to get, then 100%. It's just, yeah, like it's got to be accessible basically. I have physical copies of the delisted game. So yeah, that's another thing, that PC's at the disadvantage. You have to have it on the store or whatever. So yeah. Lola's put, the butterfly effect of how I got into these games goes as far back to when I was a kid, when I met my still best friend now who doesn't even like these games. It's wild. That's really cool though. I remember like, yeah, I always was gonna like these games because like it started back in 2005 with Fahrenheit. So Quantic Dreams where it all starts with me. But yeah, Touch on Sister Council's a pretty solid to good game, I think. And great, okay. We'll tackle the next question. So Dimitar
Yeah.
asks, What were you guys like when you were kids slash teenagers, Jack?
Um, I was very outdoorsy. I was always hanging out with my mates. I was I was like one of like sort of like the cleverer ones without sort of like tooting my own horn too much. In my year. Um, and also like pretty like fairly popular as well. Not the most popular, but like fairly popular. Um, I think just very sort of quiet, well mannered, uh, friendly. Um, yeah, I'd
No,
say that sort of is it mostly. What about yourself, lad?
yeah, it's tough to say because I moved countries quite a well, like I moved to France and then moved back to England, and because of that, there was a lot of adaptation where like you don't get attached to that much, or like, like you'll have a friend and then you'll move on kind of thing. So there was a lot of changing, and I remember like in France, it was like big fish, small pond. Like I remember being like the best kid at football, and I would like just own on the pitch. And then like I went to England, and yeah, Ollie Watkins is in the class, and I just get battered. So it's like there was a lot of adjustment, but yeah. So I've had a lot of phases where I've been like the cocky, confident class clown, but I've also been in the environment where I've been slapped and I've been like the quiet, mute kid. So yeah, I've had a lot of changes where I've been a lot of things to be honest, good and bad to be honest. But it shaped me to who I am now. So yeah, I'll take it. Let's see if there's any live questions that have come in. What did you play before you discovered choice based games? I mean, so for me, I found my first choice based game on the PS2 era in Fahrenheit. But even then, I had to wait all the way till Heavy Rain, so there was like a 5 year gap. So around that, it was very heavily Spyro was the big one for me. I absolutely love Spyro. Gears of War when I was on the Xbox days, a lot of Gears of War. If you look at my hours on Gears of War 2, it's embarrassing. I absolutely spent a lot of hours on that game. But I loved a lot of PS1 classics as well. Like I remember like the Toy Story 2 game being like one of my go-tos. But yeah, like just absolutely tons of things to be honest. Like a lot of variety in there. How about you, mate?
Yeah, I was very, very much on the Call of Duty front. Um, right from sort of like Modern Warfare 1 right up to say Call of Duty Ghosts. FIFA pretty much every year. I haven't had a FIFA game probably since 2017 now, actually. It's been quite a while. Red Dead Redemption. Um, I want to say LA Noir was before the choice based games. I think that was 2011. That game. There was like the Bond games I played when I was younger. So like lots of shooters, I'd say, lots of shooters, and like a couple of open world ones as well.
Oh, sweet, mate. Okay. So
What I can remember, council as historical figures in the story, like Napoleon or George Washington. Yeah, like and I've seen other stuff on it as well that you get to like choose certain traits. Like you can choose to be quite manipulative as a character. You can be a little bit more detective, or you can be a bit of a diplomat. So like the character profile you choose can also influence like how you fare in the game. So yeah, it may well be one we'll have to see that I end up streaming next year because it's currently going for like £3 or something like that on the store. So maybe I'll have to dive into that one.
oh, sweet, mate. So we're gonna go to Dark Tiger next, who's got a lot of questions, so we might like quick fire them. But hi guys, sorry, I know I'm late with this, but I know it's not too late as it's live Q&A. Here's some questions I put together for you. Also happy Christmas. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Yeah,
Right. So the
yeah.
first one, what are some of your favorite moments from the channel since it started? Oh, good question. There's so many that like I
Mm.
know the minute I finish this question, I'm gonna think, oh, I should have said that. So randomly, one that pops to my head is I mean, it's my favorite video, Jack. It's it's like one of the most underrated ones, but there are two types of gamer. And what I love
Yeah,
about this video is it is the most organic video ever. Like we were doing our analysis for Telltale The Walking Dead season 1, episode 2, like the one on the St. John's farm. And just naturally, when I was recording the analysis or editing the analysis and ready to post that one, I noticed just listening to it, and I was like, oh my God, all my answers here were like the sweet, innocent ones. Like, oh, I didn't want Clementine to see violence, so I'm going to take the nicey nice route. And then Jax was very much like, oh, he's an NPC. We want to move on. We want to get the character out of the game. I shot him. I put a pitchfork through him. But it's just the way you were so like nonchalant with like how like evil you were. You were just like, yeah, I just thought I'd get him out of the game. Let's just kill him. And yeah, I just dropped a salt lick on his head in front of Clementine. It's fine. Yeah. And then I just was
It's
like,
the
I
best
have
kind
to
of
edit
thing.
this. I have to edit it. And then it was like with myself, I put like a lovely white angelic filter on, and it was like classical music, like duet of flowers playing. And then when Jack's doing it, it's all fast motion with violence and like heavy metal playing. And for me, I just love that video so much. Like I always go, I watch it maybe about once every 3 months, literally that much, because like it wasn't anything scripted. You would think it would be based on how it turned out, but it's just I think there's a beauty in the fact it was organic and we didn't plan for that. But it's just one of my favorite videos. So I mean, there's so many to pick, but that for me is up there.
It's so difficult. I I really loved it, and this was not long after we started the channel, where we actually did the quarry analysis, mate, and we did it in that format because a lot of you guys that see our analysis series now, we've usually played the whole game or played the game before or whatever, but back in like the old days, we did this format where we would play the game, especially new ones, and record the analysis as we went. So you was getting like our fresh takes after playing like a recent chapter. And we did that with the quarry. And because there was such like a short turnaround from when the game was first announced to when it actually come out, we had like loads of like theory videos flying out and stuff. And I think the channel was like growing rapidly at that point as well. Like we had a really strong first year. So I think that's definitely a highlight. But also, I think when I did the Until Dawn quiz with like Liam Anya and Hidden Object Guru, purely because I mean I quite like being quiz master anyway, because it just gives me power, and I just feel like it was just an opportunity to troll a little bit. Like I think back to like some of like the video clip ones where like to almost like try and trip them up a little bit becomes really fun in the process of like making these things. So yeah, I'd say that that's another one that stands out for me.
No, it's a good choice. I had fun doing those ones. Also, hello Laura. Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing well. Hello, she put hello nerd and then and Liam. So yeah, you're the nerd.
In
um,
case we didn't know who the nerd was,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We've got a live question here from Arkham. What is your most anticipated non-narrative game for 2026? To be honest, I'm really awful at knowing what's around the corner other than the games we pick. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is GTA 6. And I know it's a basic answer, but like you have to be somewhat excited because GTA does sort of revolutionize gaming a lot. So like I am really intrigued to see what GTA 6 churns out, even though it's like console only for the first year, so it's more like 2027 for me. But I'll still be keeping a close eye on that. But to be honest, mate, I can't really say. I don't really know what games are around the corner. You might have to jog my mind on what we're getting.
There's 4 games that I'm getting next year. One of which you guys will know, Directive 8020. Um, but the other 3, GTA, also First Light 007. Obviously, me being a Bond fan, made by the people who made Hitman. So I'm really curious as to like how that plays out. But also a little bit left field. I used to play like the Lego Batman games when I was younger, and like the Lego Indiana Jones games, and that they're bringing out like this Lego Batman game, and it's got like the same combat system as like you've got in the Batman Arkham
Oh
games.
no way, that's
It was
sick.
yeah, it's like a little bit of an outside shout. I think that that could be like a very popular game as well, from what I've seen online. So yeah, I think I might be going in for that as well.
Oh, sweet. No, nice, mate. We've got a live question here from Tatjana. Which choice-based games do you want a direct sequel of? Which choice-based games do you want to play an actual remake of? So sequel, It's tough to say. Quantic Dream, they're standalone games. You can't pick them. I would say the same for Supermassive Games. I wouldn't do part twos for them. So I think you're looking at like your Dope Nods, and but we've discussed. I don't want a sequel. They did it with Double Exposure, didn't go great. So I'm looking at Telltale, and I think I've got to say Wolf Among Us. It's the one we were promised. We've seen trailers for. I felt the first game was fantastic. I wanted more of it. There's so much you can do with the story and the characters there. So yeah, I think my immediate choice is yeah, Wolf Among Us 2. I really want that game so bad.
I'd have to agree, and also As Dusk Falls as well. Now, those that have played As Dusk Falls will know, like based on the ending, that there probably is the potential for a sequel. I know you've not played it yet, mate, and it might well be a game that we end up covering next year. We'll have to see. But yeah, it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I feel like that As Dusk Falls could be like a little outside shout there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll have to see if I share your sentiment. As for actual remake of, if I'm remaking a game, I want to pick a really old game or an older game that needs to be freshened up. So for me, naturally, it's Fahrenheit because my concern is that it holds a special place in my heart. But like, I know that when we do our Content Dream ranking, you will probably place it below Beyond Two Souls because it was like 2005 against 2013, like 8 years difference. Like the graphics aren't as good. They're classic PS2 graphics. There's a lot that's so clunky with it that I think it needs to be just like, freshened up. So yeah, Fahrenheit is my easy pick for that one there, Tatjana.
Um, you know what? It's not so much me as a remake, is that I just like some of the more exclusive games to come over to Xbox. If I could wish anything, if I was to pick a remake, Heavy Rain,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, the graphics in that look good already, but I do wonder, like, if you used to get like Detroit level graphics for that game,
Yeah.
how much that would seriously improve. So yeah, I'd maybe go for that one.
The funny thing is with Heavy Rain, when the game came out, I was like, "Oh, the graphics are so realistic. Graphics can't get any better than this, surely." And I look back at Heavy
Yeah.
Rain, I'm like, "Oh, actually, a lot of it hasn't aged well." But I remember saying the same thing about LA Noire, and like some of the lying faces in that are really bad. So it's like, yeah, okay. Right, we'll get another Tiger question done before we answer any of those. Of all the choice-based games you have played, which characters do you most resonate with? Which characters are your personalities most like? Oh, that is a good question. Off the top of my
Wow.
head, probably Chris from Until Dawn. I like sometimes I like to make scenes light-hearted when they're quite high-strung. So sometimes, and that not everyone enjoys that, but I do try to just to make things a bit more light-hearted. And I think what I like about Chris is that yeah, he's a jokester, a prankster, but he does care at the end of the day as well, and like he's just kind of like the shy nerdy guy who wants to get the girl and like do what's best for his friends. So there's a lot I quite like about Chris from Until Dawn. So it's probably him. Off the top of my head, there's probably a better one, but that's the one that races to my mind immediately.
Yeah. Sorry to be boring, folks. I'm going to give the same answer. I feel Chris. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other games now. Even when we've done those quizzes, mate, like which character are you? But then they end up usually being absolutely terrible.
Carver, maybe? No.
Yeah, Carver. Yeah, Hampsky.
Yeah.
Um, Scott Shelby.
Scott
Uh,
Shelby.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say Chris. If I
No.
can think of something better, I'll pop it in the comments or something.
Which of the four elements, fire, wind, earth, and water, do you feel most drawn to? Is there one you feel least drawn to? I don't know about least, but most water. We share a star sign, which is a water star sign. But I don't know. There's just something I really like about water. I've often lived by the coast, and if I'm ever stressed or anxious, one of my coping mechanisms is taking like my headphones and just going to the seaside. Even music or without music, just hearing waves crash into rocks, it's like so soothing to me. And I think as well because we moved and we were on the ferry a lot, like I've got sea legs at heart. Like as a kid, I was always on a boat, and like when people get seasick, I've never had that because like I just always adapted to kind of like that swishing water and that sway. So yeah, like I absolutely love water. I'm even fascinated like by ocean life and stuff, and like my mum works in kind of like marine biology or used to a lot. So yeah, like water for myself, 100%.
I think for me, probably Earth, but I don't know. This is one of those questions where I feel like it depends on how you interpret it. I mean, I consider myself quite like a grounded person, so naturally, I feel like Earth of all those things seems to be a closer fit. Like wind, I don't know if like wind is almost to be assuming that they're almost a little bit laissez-faire. They go with the flow. You know, they sort of let life dictate what happens to them a bit. Fiery people maybe are quite hot-headed and destructive. I don't know if that's how like you're meant to read into it, but I feel like Earth, very sort of grounded, genuine, reliable. These are all things that I would almost attribute to myself. So yeah, I'd probably say I'm an Earth person.
Sweet. I'll quickly pick another one. How do you make most of your decisions with your head or your heart? Would you say they are evenly matched? I think they have to be evenly matched. Like, if you only picked head, you would live the life of a robot. If you only picked heart, you would probably be out of money, you know, and be broke and homeless. So, like, I think everything's got to be evenly matched. I would say, though, that, like, over time, I was more heart. Now I'm probably more head, though. Like, there definitely are times where I think that just comes with adulthood where you just think, you know, decisions like, do I really need to spend money on this? Like, I probably shouldn't be, you know, traveling as much as I am right now, you know, just a few things like that. So yeah, like I probably have leaned more to head, but still, you have to have a bit of heart in there to make life worth living. So
They've found me out, mate. They've found out that I don't actually hate trees. Look.
yeah, oh yeah, they have they? Are they saying that in the thing? I'm gonna look actually. So let's sort of see. I think so. Liam, have you put your hair up? Yes, I have. I was swimming earlier, and it makes my hair more manageable. Um,
I was going to say, mate, we've actually missed a question from Tatjana here
oh, have
on the
we?
post.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Which games are you planning on covering next year, and also any New Year's resolutions?
Okay. Well, obviously, I have just started Dispatch, so that is our priority. And obviously, we are getting Directive 8020. So, Dispatch and Directive 8020 are your two main games you'll be getting, I guess. But, I mean, to be honest, like, are there any other ones in there, mate, that like we're really gonna do? Because a lot of it is kind of like, you know, we kind of get to it and we'll see what studios we haven't covered in a while. I imagine we'll probably end up doing like maybe New Frontier at some point.
Yeah.
Um, I know you've discussed Firewatch as well recently. I'd like to get back into the walking sim, so Firewatch might be a really cool one to play.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, I mean, we've obviously got a Patreon, haven't we? And one of the things that we will be doing every now and then, like for our Patreons, is like giving a bonus poll where they can decide what we cover next. But I feel like, yeah, Dispatch certainly, Directive certainly. Um, Maybe like, yeah, I'll stream Firewatch as well because it's one of the few games that I could probably stream at this point. Yeah, like I said already, like the council as well, that sort of one that's cropped up. It'd be great for Liam to play As Dusk Falls as well because I really rate that game. But yeah, we'll have to see. Also, like Batman as well. Like maybe this is a hot take, but I think I'm more of a Batman Telltale guy than maybe a Walking Dead Telltale guy. So it'll be good to get round to Batman as well.
Yeah, sweet. Oh yeah, was it their New Year's resolution in there as well? Is there?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't do them, and I know it's kind of like petty or whatever, but it's like I've said a load in the past and I've not adhered to them. So I don't know. Like I do set goals and targets, but I don't just set them at the start of the year. You know, I kind of just tried them as and when. So no, not for me.
For me, yeah, I typically don't, but I think if I was to have one, I think, and I've said this so many times before, but this year I'm actually gonna make a fist of it and start writing. Um, but I think the main one really is just to carry on going as I have been, stay consistent with what I've been doing, you know, with certain life things and whatever. So yeah, I think I'll be along those lines.
Sweet, mate. I'm going to read some of the live comments here. Arkham will quickfire this one. Given the rumors GTA 6 would be $100, would you buy it? Probably not for me.
I would, yeah,
Yeah.
I would. Because there's going to be a lot of hours on that game. I can
Yeah.
see the other mates getting it, doing heists, just larking about, you know. So yeah, I'd go for it.
Yeah. By the time it gets to me, it might even be a bit cheaper, to be honest. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Tatjana says, Jack kind of looks like Chris, and Liam is a waterbender. Got it. Hell yeah, I am. Put that in the edit. Two-part question from Lola. How are your Christmases? Or Christmas-I? And any funny Christmas stories? Yeah, you know what? Mine was good. We actually did ours on December the 20th because that's when we could get our family down. We did things like Jackbox. And also, okay, I'm going to pause the Q&A for a second and do the little plug here, mate. But my brother, Luke, who did the Wolf Among Us analysis and the D&D kind of game we did, he directs films with his lovely partner Zoe, and they have made a Christmas film, and yours truly is a cameo in it. That's what the sexy shirt on the Dispatch stream was all about. So yeah, we got to watch that. It was lovely. So yeah, obviously message me, put it in a Discord. But if you want to see it, it's free on Amazon Prime. So just type in Edible Underwear Club, and you get to see my cameo. It's pretty fun, and it's a really cool movie with lots of cool layers. So I honestly recommend that one. But yeah, and now I've lost my train of thought, so I've just plugged something and I forgot what I was on about. What was the original
Christmases.
thing? Oh, the Christmases.
Christmas.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
fun thing. So we were playing Jackbox and stuff, and basically turkey grease. We didn't want to chuck it down the sink, so we put it out in the garden. Thought the birds could have it, and a dog kept finding it, and on 3 occasions was eating the turkey grease out in the garden. And I mean, we've seen her do it on the channel before, but her farts were toxic. She literally cleared the room out. My dog single-handedly ruined Christmas with her farts. So yeah, there's a funny story for you. I know, Tiger, you enjoyed when that happened, but she struck again, the bastard.
Yeah, Bella did a few stinkers as well, thinking about it.
God, these dogs, man,
Yeah,
can't stop them.
it's,
I
it's
pick a
it's the
cat any day
Brussels
of the week.
sprout.
Yeah.
Like, do you give like Christmas dinner to like your cats or like your dog, mate? Like,
So meat and like the sauce, yeah. I avoid like certain veg. We tried to give Bailey like a grain-free diet, and we don't give her things like potato and that. So certain
yeah,
elements, yes. Other elements, no.
yeah, yeah. No, we're very much the same with Bella, but we will give her like the odd little thing, like as long as it's in small amounts,
Yeah,
you know. And yeah, she does some deadly farts.
yeah.
No, a very quiet Christmas. Really, this time, like it is for many people, but really because of the year that's coming, very much around the corner, we wanted to take this time out just to really relax at home and not do a hell of a lot. So a lot of telly, a lot of playing Xbox, and just being an absolute couch potato, I must say.
Oh, gotta be done, mate. Gotta be done.
Yeah.
Jack is an earthbender, but don't you both hate trees? Well, yeah, you know, interesting how that works out.
Yeah.
Maybe I like Daniel. Maybe it's all a facade. So
Yeah.
Laura's put
Maybe we're not the real
ironically.
Jack and Liam.
Yeah, no,
We're
literally.
imposters.
Laura's put ironically, he's not that great in nature either.
Yeah, it's just it's growing into a character assassination
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
point, isn't
Yeah, it's
it?
instead of Q&A, it's just the roast of Jack and Liam.
Yeah.
I hope you eventually get to True Colors. Yeah, we might do it next year. We'll have to see if there's time, but I would love to get into True Colors because like it's a game that like I've never got into. I keep delaying it and delaying it. We wanted to kind of do the games chronologically, but now it's next, right? So at some point we get to experience True Colors, and I hear so many mixed reviews about it, so I'm so intrigued to show you my spin on things as well. What have we got? Water means you're more emotional and kind of have your head in another world. Very true. I am very Walter Mitty. And Earth is very much what Jack said, grounded and very true in, with the physical world. I would say that's accurate. Miss Congeniality, thank you for joining. You have put, good evening, gents. It's 2026. Are you going to do the right thing for your Patreons and cover our request for a certain FMV game? I will. I just, Dispatch is hot. When I get Dispatch done, it's on my agenda. We are so going to play that game because it is in my library. And for you, I'm going to play it. And I'm also going to liaise with you so we can make sure it's a date you can kind of witness it on, because I kind of want you to be there live. So there's some games from the visual novel genre which you haven't played. Yeah, we can't do them all, but we're getting through them. We've only got so many hours in a day. Tatiana, something I would like to ask: how would you rank books, movies, series, and video games based on your preferences? I bet video games are first. I wouldn't know how to rank that because it depends on your mood and the time you have.
Yeah. Difficult because I'm a big reader. So, I don't know. I'd actually say probably TV series top, then video games, then books, then movies. But to be honest, like that's something as well that could change. Like you
Yeah.
could ask me again in half an hour. It depends what you're talking about because there's such a varying quality there. So yeah,
To be
that's what I'll
honest,
go with.
mate, I was thinking the exact same list. It would have been gaming before series, but I don't know. Like, I'm playing less and less games. If
Mm,
I play a game, it's honestly like something I'm doing for the channel. That I rarely play games recreationally anymore. It's something I rarely do.
mm,
But yeah, right. Let's go back, mate, to Tiger's questions. So,
mm.
if you were to write a book, what would its theme and genre be? I know what your answer's going to be, mate.
Yeah, what's that then?
It's
Because
it's
I
it's
don't.
got it's got to be crime or murder mystery, right? Like that's your
Well,
forte.
I mean, it's what? No, see, the funny thing is, it's probably not. Because I feel like if I was to start writing, I wouldn't want to jump straight into a murder mystery. I feel like what I would do is I would look at like the world today or what the world could be in maybe 10, 20 years time and then write something around that. um I do have like story ideas and stuff, but they're not fully formed, so I'm not gonna like just out them on here now because do you know what I mean, it wouldn't be very detailed. But I want it to be grounded in some sort of reality. I'd want there to be a theme. I'd want there to be something that people can relate to heavily. Um, yeah, that's probably not a very good answer, but that would
That's
be my
fair.
starting point.
Yeah, I had a little go at creative writing this year, and I haven't touched it in a while. But for me, it's kind of inspired from the band Gorillaz, but it would be some kind of like demonic world where like a band forms and they're not nice people, so it's quite like comedy oriented as well. But then there's some nice important themes in there as well. I don't even know what the genre of that would be. Take your pick, but something along those lines anyway. What are some of your favorite books, and what are your favorite genres? To be honest, I've not really read that much like lately. I've always said one of my favorite books was probably Perks of Being a Wallflower, so typically it's coming of age books. But I will say that like coming of age is a genre I'm almost like getting tired of. So I'm almost in a space now where I'm almost looking for kind of new genres, and I'm wondering if like the whole murder mystery and crime element is something that I'm gonna be more drawn to. So yeah, like I say, yeah, like I wouldn't really have a favorite genre because I've only ever really read one genre and I've grown tired of it. So I'm like, yeah, in a space looking for something new.
In case you was wondering what I was doing there, quite handy when you've got a bookcase right
Yeah.
behind you. So this is one of my favourite books. It is non-fiction. It's called Murder Investigation Team, Jack the Ripper. So what it basically is, it's like this old detective inspector guy who's now retired, and he like fictionalizes what happens in like or what happened in like the Jack the Ripper sort of era. But then he then has like a non-fiction piece where he then talks about what the detectives would have done to like try and solve it in the modern day, and he talks about like what the um what like the police back then didn't have. So that's probably like one of my favourites. And then this one as well, maybe you guys will recognise this. It's called The Midnight Library. So this book, it's basically about this woman who dies and she goes into like this purgatory space, like the Midnight Library, and she ends up looking back through her life, and all these books are like choices that she could have made. So it's very much like the butterfly effect book, where you can like go back through your life and see what would have happened if you made X choice. And there's like a nice like philosophical meaning to the book, and I really love it, and I do highly recommend it if you get a chance to read it. So yeah,
Yeah, looks
they're
like
my favourite
Tatjana's
books.
read it as well, and says yeah, the sequel ish releases next year. So there you go, mate.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. You
Didn't
learned
know that.
something, mate. And
Yeah,
Laura's
that's good news.
put fun fact: Jack was reading the Jack the Ripper book on the holiday we got engaged. I'm convinced the book is the only highlight of the holiday for him. Sweet. So Tatjana put, would you like to write down your Life is Strange sequel idea? Probably not in a book. It was just kind of a fun video to do where I was like, look, double exposure flopped. I think there is still life in the Life is Strange series, and this is how they could potentially do it. So it was just a bit of like not a fully fleshed idea, and it was just something that, which I'm glad a lot of people responded positively to. A lot of people are like, yeah, take my money, they need to do this. But I just think, yeah, like Life is Strange, stop bringing old characters back, pick a new power, a new scene, something we've not seen before, do a different spin, something fresh, something different, and I think it could work. So yeah. Have either of you read the Traveling Cat Chronicles? If not, I recommend it. I haven't, I'm afraid, not for myself.
No, I haven't either.
Right, are you an extrovert, introvert, ambivert? I'll be real quick with this one. Ambivert for me, because it's like, yeah, I'm different in different bubbles, to be honest. I can be life party, I can be quiet as hell. So yeah, ambivert. Same for you?
Same here,
Yeah.
ambivert.
How many brothers and sisters do you have? Are you the oldest, youngest, middle, or only? I am the youngest of three brothers, so I have two older brothers. Yeah.
I am an only child.
Mm.
So yeah, no brothers or sisters for more.
What is your favorite season of the year? I think it's the basic. I don't really have a favorite season, but probably autumn.
I was going to say for me, it's one of the shoulder seasons, either spring or autumn. Probably spring, I'd say.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like my clothing is almost tailored towards spring, like maybe sort of maybe autumn a little bit, but yeah, I feel like spring is like when I sort of like start to perk up for the year a little bit.
Um, have
Um,
you ever rode a motorbike or a horse? I've been on the back of a motorbike, but I've not rode one myself. And I've not rode a horse, but I've rode a pony. So yeah, I see you
no,
have,
at
Kaz.
least you're close, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
At
there you
least
go.
you're close. I've not done neither, so
Mm. Were you born on your due date? If not, how early, late were you? I think I was a little early, actually. I think I might have been just a tad early. Not too much, but yeah, a little bit earlier than planned.
no. See, I was late. Um, am I remembering this right? I think I was like a week or so late. So actually, mate, like my birthday originally would have been a lot closer to yours.
Oh, okay.
Had I actually come out at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, no, I was late.
Um,
Um,
have you ever broken any bones? If so, if you're
yeah,
comfortable, share the story behind it.
yeah, nothing remarkable. I was just playing football at school. This was when I was in year 10, I believe, and lucky it happened when it did because I remember being in like a cast for 6 weeks, and then I then had a splint for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was my wrist. I broke it in three places. I remember having the splint off for like 2 days, and then I had my GCSE English exam where I was writing for like 2 or 3 hours. So that was a bit of a test. But yeah, thankfully nothing else.
Yeah, I broke my arm when I was four. Apparently, I don't remember this because I was yeah 4. But I apparently I was on the top bunk and I was trying to reach for something on the shelf and just fell off the bed, went splat, and then yeah, broke my arm. And I don't remember anything about that, but apparently that happened. So because I remember I always grew up saying, yeah, I've never broke a bone, and my mum was like, no, you did, and I was like, what? So yeah, fell off the bunk bed, broke my arm. Um, what was your first ever gaming console? PlayStation 1 for me. And I remember, I think the first game I ever played was Harry Potter Prison. No, what's the first one? Philosopher's Stone. with PS1 Hagrid. You know, and I'm pretty sure because I remember my brothers like always played it, and you know, like little brother syndrome is if you older brothers are gaming, you don't get to touch the console. And I remember one day they were like out, and the PS1 was just there, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna play it!" And I remember like being so giddy that I could play the PS1, and I didn't know how to set it up, so I asked mum to help me, and then yeah, I was just in the living room playing PS1, and then until my brother came home and kicked me off the console. But in that half an hour, it was golden. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was the Nintendo 64 because in the very early years, it was very much playing the old GoldenEye game with my dad. So, like, there's some like very early gaming memories for me. So, yeah, the Nintendo 64.
And the final sort of general one, because we've also got individual questions as well. But did either of you grow up playing Crash or Spyro? Yes, to me. So I definitely prefer Spyro. I know Crash is technically more popular, has more of its fans, but I just think Spyro's miles better. It comes down to preference, but with Crash, it's often like you're in a track and you can't go beyond that track, and it's a fun little platformer. But with Spyro, I love the open world nature of it, the little side quests, the puzzles. The soundtrack was so good. I think like Crash probably has the better characters, and they've done a better job with the series in the sense of the spin-off games. But if you're talking like the original games, there was just something so special about them first three Spyro games. It's just it sucks that Spyro got absolutely butchered and the game deteriorated a lot worse than Crash did. But if we're talking original Spyro, 100%, yeah.
And
Sweet.
I did not,
No,
in
that's
short.
fair, man. Right, we've got some new live comments, mate. We'll grab them. I've been getting into the old Sherlock Holmes games by Frogware Studios and playing the Sinking City at the moment. They have some choice mechanics. Have you heard about these? No, I mean the only ones I've done, mate, are the ones that you showed me, which was the Devil's Daughter, and then I tracked back and did Crimes and Punishment. But I absolutely
Yeah,
love those two games. They're really good. I don't know if those are the ones you're referring to, but I absolutely love them. Because I remember we always had the joke, didn't we, with Devil's Daughter? There was that one mission where like there's a carriage crash and there's like 10 casualties and you have to like go to the casualties in order of priority because there's a man who's literally like in a burning building about to get crushed. Then there's just like one guy, but like if you walk up to the guy, you interact with them, and there's a guy who's just got like a dislocated shoulder. He's fine, he's on his feet, he's safe, but he's just like, but we kept walking near him and he kept having the dialogue, "Ow, my shoulder." And we kept like walking and the controller would take over. We kept bumping into him. And this guy kept grabbing us, going, "Ow, my shoulder." And he literally wasted so much time that the guy in the burning building died because this guy kept like going, "Ow, my shoulder." And we're like, "God damn it, man, I'm gonna break your shoulder again." So yeah, but now have you heard of the Sinking City, mate?
I have, yes. So yeah, like Liam said, played Crimes and Punishments and Devil's Daughter. And actually, earlier on this year, I played. Oh God, what was it called? You've got me on the spot now. I'm gonna have to Google this. It was like. Um, oh, I can see the picture. I can see Sherlock Holmes game. The Awakened. That's it. I played The Awakened earlier on this year, and really, I did that because A, it was on offer, and B, because I heard bad reviews about Chapter 1, and I didn't want to dip my toe into like a massive game like Chapter 1 if it wasn't going to be good. So I thought, you know what, I'll play The Awakened and see how it fares. And to be honest, it didn't really touch what Crimes and Punishments and Devil's Daughter did. So I've actually avoided Chapter 1 as a result. Like, it was on offer, it was like £4 or something, but I almost based it off like The Awakened. But you'd have to let me know if like the Sinking City is good. But yeah, like the choice mechanics are good in the sense that like some like in the old games anyway, you can get like outcomes that are wrong, can't you? So I do like that.
Josh says, will you play Little Nightmares? Continue to finish 2 and 3? Yeah, to be honest, so I'm not gonna lie. When I played the second game, we hadn't. I think Life is Strange 2 just finished, or it was in the midst of it, and I just was bored and was like, I want to play Life Little Nightmares 2, so I just decided to stream the first part. and then Dispatch Life is Strange Analysis took over. So I haven't really had the time. I probably regret streaming it when I did, but 100%, I've got the game installed still. I will get back into Little Nightmares. I think when Dispatch dies down a little bit, maybe I'll look at doing it then. But yeah, no, I 100% intend to play the rest of the Little Nightmares game. I know it doesn't really cross with what we do on the channel, but still, I love the games, and there's no harm if I play it. Trouble with the Trolley, eh? That's a nice little Spyro reference and a reference to our Repo video. So yeah. Also, yeah, Anya in the chat has started YouTube, so everyone go check Anya out. Nova Jinx. Yeah, started making videos. They're really good actually. I watched one this morning, so yeah, be sure to do that. Who's gonna be like in future quizzes and future videos? So yeah, you have to see that one. Jack, did you ever play Super Mario 64?
I can't remember if it was Super Mario 6. I definitely, is it because of the Nintendo? But yeah, I definitely had a Mario game. I just can't remember because I was that young that whether it was 64 or not. Because there's been so many Mario games that I'm just like, yeah.
I think that's the big one where you start outside the castle and you go in all the pictures and there's like little mini worlds in there. I don't know if that springs your mind, but yeah,
I
that's 64.
honestly can't remember, mate.
Yeah. So Tatiana says, Arkham asked a D8020 question I'd like to know the answer to. Oh, okay. Apologies, Arkham.
Yeah.
Let's read your question. Among the cast, who are you most excited to see? Okay. Now, I'm not going to reveal too much because there's a video kind of coming out soon where I'm going to share my experience with a couch co-op mode I recently did for The Devil in Me. But if I was to play couch co-op mode where there's 4 other people and I got to pick just one character, I don't know why, but like I just have this gut instinct that I'm weirdly drawn to. I think her name's Samantha. She's like the Asian girl, and for some reason I just think she's going to be the best one. I can't say what it is. It could be that she's like the most boring, the worst character, but yeah, I'm just going to say I think it's Sam. I'm just going to say yeah, Sam's randomly my early favorite.
I actually think I'm drawn to Lashana Lynch's character.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really want to see. I've got high hopes for Directive 8020, and I'm just wondering if they've got such a big name in there like Lashana Lynch, like whether that's because the script was good that compelled her to like do this. Because I mean, she's not like an absolute massive name, but she is like a relatively big name, someone that's quite current. Yeah. And I'm thinking if the script is that good, maybe like there's some real meaty stuff in there for her character. So that's who I'd probably pick.
So I've not watched it, but she's in this thing called The Jackal, and she's literally the second main character next to Eddie Redmayne. So she's definitely gone to like these massive heights now. So yeah, she definitely does have the talent. And Tiger says, I think you missed one of the questions on the list I put. I can ask it here. Oh yeah, no, I do apologise. Yeah. What music do you guys like, and what are your favourite artists' bands? So, I mean, I put my Spotify Wrapped on the Discord, but it's anywhere between indie to metal. So like indie rock tends to be my main thing, but I also branch out into a lot of folk, and I branch out into a lot of like synthwave, dream pop, shoegaze, that kind of thing. I like absolutely everything, to be honest, but like my main realm, my Spotify algorithm will kind of go into those sort of like bands. My favorite ones off the top of my head are Wolf Alice, Phaser Days, Of Monsters and Men, First Aid Kit, yeah, Arctic Monkeys, that kind of stuff, yeah.
As for me, an incredibly mixed bag. I wouldn't say like Liam, I have artists or bands that I'm drawn to, but in terms of maybe music I listen to, very sort of like nostalgic, really, like stuff from when I was younger, noughties. Even recently, I've been like listening to stuff, mate, from like our uni era.
Oh yeah. House every weekend.
Not that one.
Not that one. Thank God, yeah.
Not that one. 80s, 90s. Honestly, all sorts. It would be easier to say what genres I don't typically listen to, really. Heavy metal. I don't listen to a lot of rap, although there is some stuff that I like rap wise. Yeah, it's just incredibly mixed bag. Like if you were to look at like my Spotify playlist, like it would change constantly. Like there wouldn't be a consistent theme of music there.
Sweet. So Jack, we're gonna go for we've got individual questions. It starts with you, so I'll put you on the spotlight a little
Mm.
bit. Tiger has
Yeah.
asked, "What's it been like planning your wedding? Have you and Laura been with it? How have you and Laura been with it?"
Yeah, it's been okay. So a lot of the big stuff we got done early on in the year. So like the finding the photographer, videographer, like sort of like some of the big things that you want to get booked in early. It's really sort of now. I mean, we're going to be going there in a couple of weeks anyway to like pick the food and the table arrangements and what the day's going to look like. But really, at this point, it's like trying to get some of the more little things done. Which obviously I'm not going to necessarily say on here because Liam's coming. I want it to be sort of like a little bit of a surprise, you know. But yeah, like it's not been as bad on my end. But speaking for Laura, like it has been a bit more stressful for her. So, but yeah, otherwise okay.
Um, okay. What is Essex like for you? No offense, but when I went there one time, it was horrible.
You have to tell me where you went. Although Essex is a big place, so do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily like I'm going to know it. So I grew up in a town called Basildon, and the thing is, it has got a bit of a reputation for not being the best place. But the thing is that when you're growing up, like you don't really know any different. So I didn't think it was that bad. Um, I go back there regularly to like visit family and see friends and stuff like that. And you know they're doing stuff to like try and upgrade the town. Like even recently, like went into like probably the poshest spoons that I've ever been in my life. It looks really nice in there. So I don't mind it, and also Essex as well does have some really beautiful places as well that don't get talked about enough. So I don't know. It gets a bad rap probably because of the likes of Towie and those shows, but no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't hold it too badly, Sonia.
Oh, sweet, mate. Tell us a most embarrassing moment you had in a COD Zombies game.
I mean, it's probably something as basic as like dying in like round 3 or round 4 or something like that. You know, when you get like ultra cocky and like you're like, oh, knives only or something like that, and then you're running around and then you just get screwed over by like a horde of zombies or something like that. That was probably the most embarrassing moment. But one thing that I'd absolutely love to do on like is it Kino de Toten? The one where you've got to like link the
Yeah,
pads. I absolutely love trolling people on that because what I'd do is I'd like stand in like the little portal thing to take you up to the room where the zombies can't get you. But I'd tell one of my mates to go link the pad, and what I'd do is I'd then kill the final zombie so the round
the
starts. He
crawler.
then links he then links the pad,
Yeah.
and then I see him running down the corridor like to legging it to get to me to get up to the pack a punch. But I'll then hit the button to like take me off to the pack a punch.
Yeah.
So he's then sat there with like all these like zombies and stuff. And it's just one of them. You have to be there. But I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so trolly. It was just warmed the cockles of my heart.
Yeah, because I think the only ones I played were the OG, that one with Fight or the Pentagon one and Kino de Toten, and I think I played like like another one that was like almost like 1920s themed. I think like USA. I might be wrong on that one, but this next one here says, "What are your thoughts on the story and characters of Black Ops 2's Mob of the Dead?" I don't know if Liam has played it, but he can answer as well. I can't myself. I don't know what that is, but
Ooh.
Jack, I'll take it away.
It's testing my memory a bit. I can't remember the story too well. I remember the map. I really like the map, and I think this is the one, Sonia, where you've got to like build the plane, haven't you? And you've got to like fuel the plane. So you've like got to get up onto the roof, and each time you can then go over on the plane to then get to like the end where you can like have like a massive horde of zombies. But I think of Black Ops 2, it was probably my favourite of all the maps. The one that I didn't particularly like was the like skyscraper one. I want to say it was set in Shanghai or somewhere in China, but for some reason the verticality of it, how condensed that map was, I really didn't like it. But I think the best zombie maps are the ones where you and your mates can find a place to lock down and then just like train zombies and like mow them down and get to like the higher rounds. And yeah, you are right. That is the one with Michael Madsen. Yeah, I should have remembered that. But yeah, a good one. Not my favourite zombie map of all time, though. I'd still say that that one is Call of the Dead with George Romero in it, like the snowy one with like the ship and the lighthouse. That was my favourite.
I like Kino de Totten just for the 115 song. Oh, it's I still listen to
Oh
it to this
yeah,
day. Like it's such a good song. Like,
yeah.
um, right, okay,
Right, it's me now, mate. So I'll take the lead on it.
yeah.
So Liam, what is it like in France?
Yeah, like I mean, I moved out of there. I moved there when I in 2004, and I moved out in 2009. So very different times. I have come back there once since, but yeah, honestly, it was really weird because it's like you're 8 years old, you have no say in it. It's just like yeah, we're living in a different country where you don't speak the language. So it's quite a funny thing just being brought to this other country. You're sitting in a classroom. You don't know what the hell is going on. It's just you and your brother. It's like in an alien thing where you just don't understand. The interesting thing as well about like French is like I don't remember a process where I learnt the language. It was almost like a switch where one day I woke up and I was fluent. It's really weird. Like I remember one day just being in class like I do not know what's going on. I'm struggling here. And one day I just woke out of bed and I was just chatting to everyone. It was like, whoa, where did that come from? So yeah, but honestly, it was such a good experience. It's like such an invaluable sort of skill to have to just know a foreign language just as much as your mother tongue, to be honest. So yeah, like I wouldn't trade it for the world. Made some really good friends there. And one thing, like, and I'm not just saying it because I lived there for 5 years, but I see so many English people give France such a bad rap, and the reason they give it such a bad rap is because they've gone to Disneyland Paris, and it's their own, and they describe Disneyland Paris, and they assume Disneyland Paris speaks for the whole of France, because often you're going to Paris, you're gonna go like on the metro. There's going to be a lot of like busy hustle and bustle city people. There's going to be a lot of rudeness, but that's just city people in general. I think that's something you would just get in London, Madrid, Barcelona, Berlin, anywhere you go. But like, I don't know, like some of the nicest people were in the French countrysides because I lived in quite a rural place. I was literally on like a farm in France. And yeah, some of the most wholesome people, neighbors just helping each other out. So yeah, no, France was a really good time in my life, and yeah, like one I definitely cherish. So I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that I feel like I belong in England, so I'm glad I came back when I did. But yeah, like such a good skill to have to speak French and to kind of spend my childhood there. So yeah.
All right, next up, mate. Um, do you play any other musical instruments besides the guitar or piano?
Oh, to be honest, like them two, it's a stretch, mate. I'm not great at either of them. Guitar's probably my strongest one. Um, but yeah, like my problem is like I dabble in one, I get bored, I want to try something else, so I never really master one. And I just struggle to find the time. I've dabbled in drumming a little bit. Drumming's the one I really would love to get good at. It's just drumming's so difficult to get into. You need the right facilities for it because it doesn't matter how good you are at drumming. Drumming is a racket. So like it's just so difficult to be able to drum. So a little bit of drumming. I've tried a bit of ukulele as well. So yeah, like a bit of like I've only ever done one gig and it was with a cajon box drum because you don't have to be good with a drum kit. Like anyone can box drum as long as you've got a sense of rhythm. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about making your own music/songs?
Yeah, like like the thing is, like I am not. I know like you can train to be a good musician, but I'm definitely not naturally gifted. I know people like one of my mates. His like he comes from like a lineage of musicians almost, and like his dad's this really talented blues pianist and guitarist, and he just picked up a guitar, and it's like it comes naturally to him. Left-handed, has the creative part of his brain flowing. He can just go. For me, it's like rough. I'm so tone deaf that I have to look at stuff and learn it, like kind of like on a page kind of thing. So I'm not the best writer. I don't really have an interest in writing stuff. I'd rather just kind of like learn stuff that's already been written, learn stuff that I like the sound of. But I have tried the odd little thing, and there's the odd little thing here and there. But the thing is with me as well, if I pick up a song on guitar, like I don't bother learning whole songs. The way I kind of learned guitar is like, I grew up with forest parties with friends, and there would be a guitar around a campfire, and we would just pass it round. So like you would play the odd riff and then pass the guitar on. You wouldn't sit there and do a whole song. So like my kind of like attitude towards guitar is very sort of personal and weird. I don't really have the ambition to learn entire songs or write my own stuff, to be honest. I just want to have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah. And the final question, mate, what are some of your favourite wrestlers in WWE? You
Oh,
can include ones that are also retired.
oh, I love that you've included a WWE question. Thank you very much, Tiger. So growing up, oh my god, I am like one of the biggest Rey Mysterio fans. Like that guy, legendary. His 2006 Royal Rumble win and his World Championship win, love it. Rey Mysterio is my boy. Like the fact that he was just the smallest wrestler and overcame everything. It's like something out of a fairy tale. So yeah, love Rey Mysterio. I'm a big fan of like Batista, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. I've got to get the Celtic ones in there. I'm a big fan of a lot of the female wrestlers as well. So Rhea Ripley, legendary. Absolutely love Rhea Ripley. But not just because she's like the gothic girl as well, like the badass. But I'm a big fan of like a lot of the Japanese wrestlers we see today. So Io Sky, Kairi Sane is like one of my favorites at the minute. I think she's so underrated, and I'm waiting on her push to happen. So yeah, those are some of my favorite wrestlers. I see there's some follow-up ones, mate. So we've got, in how many countries have you both been? I don't have a counter, but it's probably like between 10 and 15 for me. But like I've not left Europe though, but I've done a lot of Europe. But leaving Europe something I hope to do at some point soon.
Yeah, it's probably the same for me. I have left Europe. I've probably told this story before, but I've left Europe for half an hour.
Yeah,
That's like one of my little icebreaker things that I use for, when you meet new people or whatever. So we did a trip at the end of first year uni to Istanbul, and there's this body of water. I can't remember what it was called, but there's this body of water where you're in Europe on one side and you're in Asia on the other side. One day they let us sort of free roam and go about, and we took this boat and we went over to the other side. And the people I was with, we had a little look around, and they weren't fancying it, so we got back on the boat and went back to the Europe side. So yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I could list the countries, but yeah, that would be that would be quite boring. But I'd say about a dozen or so.
um,
And yes, I have been to Gibraltar, and I've been up the Rock as well.
oh no, I have to go to Gibraltar at some point. Like, I've never been. If you think that Disney speak for the entire France, you're awful culture. I agree, but certain people think like that. Like they'll go to like a common city and they'll just think everyone's like that. It's sad to think, but that's what prejudice is. I guess it exists. You have a ukulele. I mean, yeah, obviously, you don't have to learn it, but if you did, that would be cool. And yeah, here, Lola. Right, okay, mate. Let's. We've got another question. 25 times 13, mate. That is 325. There you go. Looked it up.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Maths.
Tatjana, which games do you plan on covering next year? Any New Year's resolution? We covered that. I think you asked that live as well, so we'll skip that one. Grey Bearline says favorite movies and books that are generally at least a bit underrated. Oh yeah, I could talk about this one. So my all-time favorite movie. I know some of you in the chat have watched it, but The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Ah, it's fantastic. I saw it at the cinema. It's brilliant. I always thought Ben Stiller was a one-dimensional actor because at the time I hadn't seen Dodgeball as well. And I always just thought he played like the night at the museum, the kind of like the clueless good guy who just bad situations happen to him, and he's just a bit socially awkward to get him way out of it. I had no idea the man is a really talented director, and he's got such a good mind for film as well. But Walter Mitty's great. It's about a guy who has like maladaptive daydreaming. Like he's just living a very boring life. A lot of he fantasizes in his head a lot about stuff happening because his life's so dull. The way the film's shot as well, it starts very grey. Then he actually starts traveling and doing all these incredible things. And yeah, like I don't want to spoil too much, but everything from the cinematography, the script, the dialogue, the soundtrack, 100% underrated movie. If you want to like, you know, dive into adventure, it's the film that really punches you and puts a spring in your step to do that. So yeah, Secret Life of Walter Mitty is definitely my favorite movie.
I've got a couple of movies. Books I can't really think of. Movies wise though, the first one I'll talk about is called Catch Me If You Can. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks in it. It's based on a true story, and it's basically about this guy who basically sort of he fakes his way through life. It's absolutely unbelievable. Like he manages to recreate to like absolute perfection forgery checks, which he then uses to like fund this lifestyle where he becomes a pilot. He becomes a doctor at one point. Yeah, very much has the gift of the gab, and the whole thing is like this cat and mouse thing where Tom Hanks works for the FBI and he's chasing after Leonardo DiCaprio's character around the world. It's got some heart to it. It's got some comedy to it. Just a very well put together movie. It's got Christopher Walken in it as well. He plays Leonardo DiCaprio's dad. Just a very good movie, and I recommend it. The second movie is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. It's got Michael Caine and Steve Martin. It's a comedy, and again, it's about a couple of swindlers who meet this woman on their travels in like the south of France, and they're competing with one another to try and get with her in order to get money out of her and fleece her. Michael Caine is like the established swindler. Steve Martin's a bit of a pretender, and he's trying to like get onto Michael Caine's patch. And there's a good twist at the end. It's very light-hearted, very funny, and yeah, it's a movie that I'll revisit every now and then.
Nice. Also, Tatjana, thank you for joining. I hope you have a lovely night, and yeah, we will see you next year indeed. Thank you for popping in for the Q&A.
Yeah, thanks, Jana. Thanks for the questions.
So Tiger says in WWE, I still like Undertaker, Kane, the Hardy Boys. Of course, Jeff Hardy like created an entire generation of like kids jumping off of ladders and doing somersaults from tables. It was brilliant. I also like Lita and Victoria. Very good picks. I like that you mentioned Victoria. She is one of the most underrated female wrestlers. So a real good pick. Epic theme tune as well. Love that one. My favorite moment was the milk truck with Kurt. Yeah, very good choice there. So Lola says, whereabouts in Gibraltar did you go? I could have given you a free tour.
Oh, this was back in like 2007. So it was like a family holiday. We went to Malaga, or there's like this little place just outside of Malaga called El Faro. And I think Gibraltar is just further along the coast. And we did like a day trip on the coach. We went up the rock, and it's actually triggered a memory because at one point, me, my mum, my dad, we all stopped off and we was getting like photos of the monkeys, and they were saying like be careful like with loose bags and things because the monkeys will go for it and take the bag, and if you've got a camera, you know, they can, you know, rob it off you. And it was funny because my mum and dad like both had a picture of like this monkey just sort of stood like on the road or whatever, and it was fine. I then approached and stood next to this monkey, and the photo's just of this monkey like giving me these absolute evils. And yeah, I was only about 11 years old at that point. I think I was like 11, 12 at this point. But yeah, so yeah, it was a nice time in Gibraltar. If I remember rightly though, it was not sunny. Like, and I remember saying at the time that this is just typical UK weather.
I've been to Malaga as well. Actually, it's one of my favorite spots. Malaga's such a good destination, to be honest. I really want to go back there.
Yeah.
Josh says, will you play the new Halloween game released next year? I didn't even know there was a Halloween game, so I'll check it out. But honestly, maybe not. I mean, I will see it, but like Halloween isn't particularly one of the Halloween like the horror genres I gravitate towards. Not genre, but I'm a Texas Chainsaw man at heart, and I don't know. Like I know Halloween has such a backing, Mike Myers and that, but at the end of the day, I just sort of can't see past the fact it's just a dude in a mask that looks around hedges and creeps up and stuff. It's one of the weaker out of the main sort of like ones for me anyway. Um, so next we have you know what? We've got the Casey question next, mate, which you know
Yeah.
is pretty. You know, so we'll highlight this, and I'll probably extract this for its own video actually, because This is gonna talk about kind of the future of the channel. So we put out a post recently, didn't we, mate, of how the future of the Butterfly Effect podcast is changing. So typically, what you guys are currently getting and what you've had before is sometimes you get Tuesday comedy show or like a Tuesday stream or whatever, but then you would get a Thursday video and a Sunday video, which is typically an analysis. Jack and I kind of had a chat and we needed to kind of downscale a little bit. So in a nutshell, and I was really kind of glad you kind of like were on the same wavelength as me, because I think I pitched it to you and I was like, look, mate, like we've got to cut down. Like there's just so much, and it's quite a nervous thing to say, but you were just in a similar mindset, and I was so glad you were, because, I mean, like, if you think about it, we're putting out an average of 2 videos a week, and it is a lot, right? Because for each video, you've not only got to research for the video and prep for it, you've then got to rock up at the same time and record a video, and that can take some time. Then like I've got to like go and like edit the video, which is like going like even longer than recording, because you have to go through every trace of it, put all the layers in, whatever not. Then you have to like render it, upload it, process it. You've got to like schedule it. And then like on top of that, yeah, there's the marketing that Jack does a lot of. There's grabbing the comments. There's a lot of time that goes into the channel. And when you're doing 2 videos a week on top of like an actual day job of 40 hours a week, it does consume your life quite a lot. And I'm not saying like negatively. I love doing the channel. It's such a passion of mine. But I did think I was hitting a point where I was like, oh, a video needs to go out this Sunday. And we have all these like little fake deadlines in my head that I've set myself. And I just kind of woke up, I was like, why I don't have to upload a video this Sunday. This is myself giving myself like a fake deadline. So like, why am I doing this? And I look at kind of like, not that I care about the stats, right? But for me, like it definitely has been our slowest year. And I do wonder if like a quality over quantity approach is best next. I know like I think maybe the original layout of the channel was for one reason that I went through this unemployment stint, so I had a lot of free time and I needed to do something, and I was happy to dedicate all that time to the channel. But yeah, equally it was think because like we had an analysis, but we didn't want it to just be analysis. So we would also put out like another bonus video on top. But like it was a lot, wasn't it? So I think yeah, we're gonna kind of mix it up a little bit. Um Thursday and Sunday is gonna switch to Friday. We're gonna do Friday uploads, see how Friday fares, because it means that like if you don't see it right away, you've got all weekend to watch a video. With the current Sunday videos, like, you have a little bit of an inkling that like a lot of people, like if they can't do it on Sunday, they've got to wait till after work on a Monday. So I just think maybe a Friday slot gives you that bit of freedom. It's experimental. We might revert back. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I'll let you speak a bit, mate. But yeah, definitely just about going down to one video rather than two.
No, I mean you put it perfectly, mate. So much time goes into the channel. Previously, and like we started back in October 21, and the first year was incredible. I think the first year we got over 2,000 subs, and it was crazy. And like Liam's right, we don't focus on the stats, but there does sort of come a point like you put so much time in, you put so much effort in, and we are like clearly you guys can see that we're passionate about it, but there does come a point where real life happens. Other things, you know, Liam doesn't want to be sat behind a screen 2 or 3 nights a week recording and editing, and you know we've got other things that are going on, but that doesn't mean it's wavered in any way. We certainly want to carry on. We've still got ideas for things like video ideas, games we want to cover, etc. And I think just for the long term, and obviously coming to Casey's question here, do you think you're going to do it for the next 5 to 15? Listen, 15 years, look, never say never, but 15 years, I doubt it. 5 years, who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Who knows what life has in store for us, you know? So, but yeah, we're just wanting to be sustainable for us and make sure that you guys, though, still get the content, and, you know, we can still like talk to you guys and connect with you, because ultimately we share this common interest in choice-based games. So yeah, that was pretty much the rationale for it.
That's it. Because I think like a lot of the work I currently do, like it was hybrid, so I was able to be at home, but now like I'm going back into the office a lot, and it just means that yeah, like my time is a lot more kind of like, I'll have to commute, I come home and I just have a lot more limited time at home. And we love doing the channel, but I do think, yeah, there was a point where I would look at a lot of the videos and like it would just be, oh, we need a video to go out. Let's just do this quick video. And I wouldn't really be happy with the quality. And I'm just like, yeah, like the channel isn't about kind of just meeting deadlines. It should just be about a passion project, which it is in the first place. So by no means it'll be like stopping. We're just cutting back to make it more manageable and, like Jack said, sustainable as well. Because as well, like I'm working full time now, and I want to focus on things such as music. I want to like get into fitness, which I've just never really had the time to do. And Jack's getting married, so it's like 2 videos a week is just like absolutely unobtainable. So yeah, I think we just need to think smart, and then yeah, you mentioned in 5, 15 years God knows what's going to happen then. But like me and Jack have always had this blanket policy: if one of us isn't enjoying it, or if one of us can't do it anymore, just to openly say, because like we're in a space where like we can easily keep doing it as long as we want to, but like our kind of blanket policy is that if one person isn't enjoying it, we just have the open policy to say, and then we can happily kind of like see out the channel how we see fit. So it might be that we set a deadline, who knows? But for now, I'm enjoying it. It's just that we need to cut down. We need to just absolutely slow down a little bit, focus on quality rather than quantity. So yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've said as well, haven't we, mate? Like there might be the odd instance where we want to put out an extra stream, or there might be a bit of news that we might want to quickly throw out or whatever. But I think just having that standard of a video a week, I think just then gives us the breathing room to be able to,
yeah.
like you said, do all these other things that we've got going on.
For sure, because you'll always get your Friday videos that come out, but like if any Directive 8020 news drops, we'll put that out as and when. And the streams won't interfere with your Friday video. The stream will always be on a different day. So to be honest, you are most likely still getting 2 videos a week, one being a stream, one being a video we've created. That might change, you might see. So it's still more of the same. It's just yeah, like I say, the scale back. But yeah, like it might feel like not too much has changed, but yeah, we just wanted to be transparent with you guys. So we got a bit of reaction here. So a good choice to cut down. Treating a hobby like a job is a one-way ticket to burnout, and getting burnout on something you're passionate about is awful. So we fully support you. And yeah, I appreciate that. That's really kind of you to say. And no problem, Tiger. You can always rewind back and say, but we just discussed kind of the future of the channel and our new schedule that is going out.
That's got to come first.
Yeah. I only so Casey put, I only ask as there is content creators in the game for years and call it quits or go on a break for a good while. It's a worry, to be honest, to think it will happen. Yeah, I mean that's it. I wouldn't say I've ever really burnt out. There definitely are days where like I absolutely just do the channel, and then I don't realize like if I am burning myself out. But like I guess it's just more like I've got other passions and projects I want to get into. But with the current layout of the channel, I'm not being allowed to. So it's more just like, yeah, needing to cut back to kind of get some personal things done in my life as well. See more friends, see more family. So yeah. Um, we've got Lola who says, "Of this year, what was your greatest achievement?" I think you asked that in live as well, so we'll skip that one. And Zuzkaz09, what did you guys study or studied in uni if you did? So yeah, for me it was French, but I also did a tiny bit of Spanish with that as well. So yeah, I did a language course.
And I did English literature.
Yeah.
So it was good though. I mean, because in the first year there was a couple of modules that we shared, weren't there, mate?
Yeah, there was, because it was
Uh,
Dell, the Department of English and
Dell, yeah,
Languages, and
Dell, yeah,
I think it was like 5 of our courses would be, for our thing, but there was one course, and it was like a shared module for us and you, and it was
yeah,
clearly just an English module. So us guys were forced to do an English course, which I didn't mind because I quite like English. So it was quite nice to divvy it up and to hang out with you. So I was all for it,
yeah,
but I know a lot of people in my class were not happy. They were like, "Why are we doing English? Like this sucks." And it was like a comedy one, and we got to go to Warwick and see a stand-up comedian. We got to see Marcus Brigstock. That was cool. We got to
yeah.
like, yeah, dive into kind of like how comedy's constructed. It was actually quite nice, actually. And I just remember we just like it should not have been allowed to happen because we just took the piss in a lot of lecture halls together. Like, yeah, we didn't get that much work done, did we?
Yeah, tartar sauce and
Yeah. What sauces do you use? Tartar,
yeah,
ketchup.
tartar
It's just like
apple.
get out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Sweet. Should we move on to some of the Discord questions, mate?
yeah, I've got one here. From Indigo Dan. If you could go back in time and play any game for the first time, what one would you pick?
Oh, it's a great
So
question. That is a great question.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with the channel, and you probably know what my answer's going to be on this. It's either going to be Until Dawn or Heavy Rain. Um, I had such a fun time, particularly with Until Dawn because that was like the first one. You know, like obviously I've played the Telltale games, but that was like the one, the entry point. You know, and the collective nature of it, the you know yeah, just the social nature of it while I was playing, the sort of the not knowing what your choices are going to be. Yeah, I'd have to pick Until Dawn or Heavy Rain.
Nice. It's funny as well because both games I was there when you blindly played, and it was an honor to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it. And it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, my one was going to be Until Dawn. I remember the first time I picked that game up, I was just so invested. Like it's the only thing I wanted to think or talk about. Hence why I joined all the wiki. I was just so obsessed with it. I've never been that taken by a game for that, for quite some time the way Until Dawn did. And yeah, like I going back at it, it's still special, but nothing's more special when from that blind playthrough. Not knowing what dialogues are going to change anything, what knowing what the choices did. My brother doing that thing where he convinced me that I killed Josh because I answered something wrong in a therapy session with Dr. Hill, so I genuinely thought he got sawed in half. So yeah, like the Until Dawn blind playthrough experience was just phenomenal, and I would love to go back and experience it. Imagine if like there would be like a memory pill that could erase it, and then you guys could see me blind play Until Dawn for the first time. I think that would be insane to see. So yeah, yeah, great question, but yeah, that would be my pick. We've got. Have you guys ever been to Carlisle? It's where I went to uni. I've not actually. You know what? Like the furthest north I've probably been is like Preston, to be honest. Preston, Manchester, Liverpool. So yeah, like I've never actually been further north than that. But I hear Carlisle's beautiful. I have a friend from Kendal, and funnily enough, it's where Postman Pat's set. So yeah, there's a little Carlisle fun fact for you if you didn't know. Yeah.
No, I haven't either. I've been through Carlisle on the train because went up to Edinburgh. This is going back a few years now, and you go through Carlisle to get to Edinburgh. But yeah, because I swear I was really confused because Carlisle is in England, right? But Carlisle, I believe, is in like the Scottish League, like for football, mate. So that
Yeah.
completely threw me, like when I heard that Carlisle was actually in England. So
Yeah, so some of the like you've got Hearts, which apparently is technically in England. You have like a lot of like random like sort of like countries that or like clubs that randomly fall into Scotland or England, and there's a bit of a grey area on them. But yeah,
mm.
that's sweet. A question from Katie Bright. Thank you for submitting it, Katie. What game left the most profound emotional impact on you? Oh, I might have to think. I don't know if one comes to the top of your head. I feel like maybe one that I could say. I don't know why, but What Remains of Edith Finch would be a good shout for me. Like I don't know what it was about that game, but like what I love about walking simulators is that because they don't have emphasis on gameplay, you're just walking around picking clues up. I think the stories have to be really profound and great, and there's just something really sinister and harrowing yet really thought-provoking about Edith Finch, about how like this family are potentially so cursed of like and then you almost have it like a curse. You almost feel like a demon's behind you and you're going to be next in some shape or form while you learn about the tragedy of your certain family members. And I remember walking away from that one and it felt like I just watched a Black Mirror episode, and I was just thinking like, wow, like yeah, like I really went into my thoughts with that one. So What Remains of Edith Finch, yeah, yeah, real thought provoking game for me.
It's a great shout. I mean, in terms of like profound emotional, like I mean, with video games, I don't really get that emotional. Like I know when like in Walking Dead, you've got like the scene with like Lee. Do you let him turn? Do you shoot? I know like you spoke about it, haven't you, mate? And it's sort of like people can get like emotional about it and whatever. For me, there's just something about with video games. There's a bit of a disconnect. However, I will say Edith Finch, but you made me think about Gone Home as well.
Gone Home, yeah.
Gone Home. Really, for the reason we've Gone Home is that from the front cover of the game to the way it starts, the blinking lights, you think you're playing one thing, but you actually end up playing something else, and that complete pivot is so unexpected, and it's a bit of a risk as well, but it works so well.
Yeah.
And the voice acting is superb in it. It's such a simple game, but what they achieve with the voice acting and the music, and I think walking sims are really, really good at that. And that's the thing. I can't really think of like choice-based games where they've really achieved that, in my opinion. I have to get thinking on it, but I really can't.
Yeah, and I know like there's the obvious like emotional moments, like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare's have one, Red Redemption has like quite a few ones. Assassin's Creed, especially. I mean, I haven't really played the later ones, but the Ezio trilogy, the whole story of Ezio being like a plucky young boy who's like kind of like a bit immature and then learns the way of the Assassin Brotherhood. And then the way he goes to Rome, has his army, and then Revelations where he's a bit older and it's like his like twilight of being an assassin. Um, from the trailers, the way they're cinematically shot, and just the way Ezio evolves, there's something quite emotionally provoking about the Ezio trilogy thing for anyone who likes Assassin's Creed out there as well. Um, Liam, I didn't know you played COD Zombies. Maybe you should tell us an embarrassing moment. I mean, I'm not really like a fan of shooters, but you have it where you go around to a friend's house and they have it, and I have like picked up the controller and played with them. But as I'm not a shooter fan, like, or like I don't play them that regularly, that like anytime I pick up the controller and play COD Zombies, it is an embarrassing moment. I think one of the first like games I ever played. You know, like the OG map. Is it World at War or like Black Ops 1 that introduced it or whatever it was? And you have that like OG map. I remember like I unlocked the funds to like unlock a door, and I just assumed the map would be like the most like a kind of fairly linear, or we could progress like a video game kind of thing. I didn't realize opening a door could be a hindrance because it's just given the zombies another avenue to get you. And I unlocked a door, and it meant we had zombies coming from both ways, and then it just absolutely flooded us. And we went from being on top of things to me unlocking a door and just fucking the whole game. And everyone was yelling at me. And I remember, like, it was my first entry into playing COD Zombies, and I was like, "Yeah, sorry guys, shouldn't have unlocked the door with the zombies behind it. My bad." So yeah. Um, Finding these perspectives interesting as I get put off adventures games. There aren't characters what pull me in and what makes them for me. No, I quite agree. I quite agree with you. Right, should we look at the next? We have one from Indigo Dan, mate, next.
Yeah. So, what game would you least like to be a character in?
Oh, okay. I mean,
Oh,
I'm naturally picking horror, right? Who wants to be in a horror
yeah,
game where, like, you know,
yeah,
the world is absolutely horrible? I mean, Little Nightmares, when you look at the lore and the world of that, it is terrifying. The way, like, the adults are being consumed by the world, the way the children are, like, alone getting eaten by the adult, it's absolutely harrowing. Little Nightmares would be an absolutely bloody awful one to live in. But, I don't know, like, I mean, Resident Evil's bad, absolutely zombified world. I think Silent Hill's got to be in there as well, where, you know, you're just living in mist and then there's like Pyramid Head walking around. So, yeah, probably something in the realm of that, to be honest.
yeah. If I'm talking about the games we've covered, probably House of Ashes comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
Being deep underground, not an obvious way out. You've got the bat creatures there, very claustrophobic and condensed. Yeah, that would be pretty close. Beyond choice-based games, though, there's this game I played a while back. It very much had PT vibes. Imagine PT, but sort of a full game. It's called Visage, psychological horror game. And yeah, there's like bits in that you sort of move into different locations and stuff, but for the most part, you're in like this house. And there's for me just something about domestic horror, like an unknown threat getting into the home, jump scares, being attacked. It's a subgenre of horror that I know I'm drawn to a little bit in terms of like the fear factor. So yeah, I'd probably go for Visage.
Yeah, no, I did think of PT as well. Actually, the claustrophobic nature of that is so chilling. So yeah, no, 100%. So if you had to be on a deserted island with one video game character, who would it be and why? I'm probably thinking survival, so I've got to go resourceful. So I am gonna pick Lara Croft.
I am going to pick. Ooh. There's one name that keeps coming to mind, and it might be because I like the game so much that it's coming to mind. I'm going to pick Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana. Yeah, it's a good shout.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe this is a perfect segue for me just to wax lyrical about that game. Anyone that hasn't played it, I highly recommend it. If you like puzzles, if you like semi-open worlds where you get to explore and do side missions and obviously have a main story as well, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a fantastic game. It's one of the best games I've played for ages. So yeah, I feel like I'm a bit cheeky with that answer, but I'll say Indiana Jones. But there's probably a better one that I'll come up with later on.
Sweet. And the final one we have in the Discord is, what was the best memory you had from this year and would cherish for a long time? We kind of already answered that at the top, so I will skip that one. But you've put, which
Yeah.
anime human character would you like to see in an environment like Until Dawn, The Quarry, and how do you think they would do? Now, Jack, I mean, do you know any animes at all? Or okay, I
Nah,
mean,
you'd have to
so
help me out.
no, that's
Yeah.
all right. So, I'm not that much of an anime connoisseur, but I don't know, like not to kind of like we on your question a little bit, but I'm not the kind of person who thinks that kind of way, like, oh, what character would I want to see in a different franchise? I'm very much like I look at kind of like, a game like a picture like of art, and I'm like, I don't think about having elements on other things, I just kind of think of it, I just appreciate it for what it is in a way. But one of my favorite animes, I haven't seen it in a while. It might change. I might go back and like, change that perspective. But there's a one called Elfenlied. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but the main girl in there called New is basically a girl who escapes a science lab, and you have the army chasing her, but she has these like superpowers where she can like grow these like arm things and absolutely destroy anything around her, and she can take down an entire like army kind of thing. But like, what's fascinating is that she escapes this like lab on an island, and she washes up on the shore, and these like people adopt her and like care for her, but they only see like the innocent sweet side of her because that is who she is. But if she's ever conflicted with violence, she becomes the monster character. So you have like these people who don't know who she is and they only see the good side. Then you have an army trying to antagonize her, get her back to the lab, and then she's like trying to like live both sides. I find her such like a fascinating character, so it would be cool to kind of see like a game or something around her. But off the top of my head, it's a weak answer. I can't think of like someone like that I would put in a video game. I'm afraid. So yeah. We have some live questions that are back. So um,
Yeah.
with how it's been talked about across all the medium, including games, what are your feelings on generative AI? It's all right if you don't want to answer. Now, I'm happy to answer about AI because I won't lie. Like I've used it on the channel a little bit, and I have been, chastised a little bit, and that which is completely fair because it's like everyone's got opinions on it, and I didn't realize how harmful it was, to be honest, until I read more about it. I just sort of used it, thought it was like a tool that like everyone uses nowadays, but I use it lightly. I think the thing with AI for me, I think it's fine to assist and cut corners up to a degree, but the moment you kind of use it to basically take your ability to think, that's when it becomes a problem. And I think a big part, what I find really funny actually about AI, and this is something my brother taught me over Christmas, but like AI uses the internet to get its data, right? But a lot of the internet now is AI, so AI is using itself for references, so it can get stuff wrong, and then it will like just go in complete circles. So it can be quite problematic as well. So I think it's fine if you dabble it. Like, for example, I've used it for thumbnails, right? And my thing is, I won't use it to make a full thumbnail, but I might use it for an element. Like I did one recently where it was like we spoke about Life is Strange Double Exposure Part 2, right? And I got a little bit of backlash for using AI in a thumbnail, and the thumbnail was fully mine. But like, you have Max who hands like a video game, and then you've got the double exposure choice saying like make it or bin it or whatever. And people didn't like the fact that the video game cover she had in her hand was AI, because I don't have the artistic tools or the money, the financial means to source art for that. So, like, you're, entitled to your opinion if that's kind of bad that I've used AI in the thumbnail. But I wouldn't say it was lazy in the sense that I've completely got AI to do my thumbnail. I've just got it to assist me and to do a certain part. So I think assistance is fine. It's just like, but then again, who am I to know? It's such a new concept that I don't know if there's a wrong or right answer. But I definitely think it is quite a potential like jeopardizing thing where you do have to be quite mindful with it. So yeah, don't know about yourself
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I mean, it fundamentally falls down to, I think, the human element that you lose with AI. I agree. I think it's there. I think it's great for assisting, but then it's not always accurate. So you almost always need the human to come in to verify certain things. I mean, I've I've been doing like a little project in the background. You know what? I'll spoil it. But I've been building a up pictures quiz for Liam Anya and Hidden Object Guru for a video next year. And there was times when it's really difficult for long periods to try and think of questions that are of the right difficulty, that you don't want to go too hard too often, you don't want to go too easy too often. So you're trying to like get these questions. So there would be times that I'd lean into AI sometimes, and there'd be things it comes up with that are just plain wrong. Like there was one time not that long ago when I was asking for like Man and Madan stuff, and it was saying about how Brad had like a drug issue, and I was thinking, wait, I've either missed something big time, or but I'm 95% confident that there is nothing that comes up, not in a clue, not in anything, that Brad has a drug problem. So I was just, after a little while, you think, oh, this probably isn't the best thing to use. So you almost like have to pace it with like, projects like that. So yeah, ultimately, like Liam said, I think it's good to assist. Full dependency, absolutely not. And I think that over time, I think that dependency, if it gets more sophisticated, could be damaging for basic human creativity. Which I think is important. So yeah, it's a bit of a head scrambler.
Yeah, it's funny how Detroit Become Human talks about those topics way before it almost becomes relevant, right? They kind of just knew it was
Yeah.
crazy, but yeah. Um, no, sweet. I think we have some live ones here, mate. Have you ever?
Mm.
A tiger says, "Have you ever played a musical instrument, Jack, even if it was just a triangle?"
Oh yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
I've seen you play the keyboard in the escape room in Poland.
Yeah. I must admit, I mean, yeah, because obviously we had like music classes in school and stuff, but I will admit, like, I will play it. Like, my standard thing is to do like the EastEnders theme tune. That's all I know. It's like the first few notes of the EastEnders theme tune. Don't know what EastEnders is. It's a soap drama in the UK. So I'll do that. I did a bit of Frère Jacques as well. But most of the time, the keyboards we used at school were ones where you could put the headphones on and you could flick a setting and then it would almost like play certain tunes for you. So you'd get like the Mission Impossible themes, like the music teacher would be sat there talking and I'd just be listening to dun 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 dun, dun throughout like the whole lesson. So I'm more of a, when it comes to music, I'm more of a consumer than a creator, I'd say.
Oh, sweet. How do you feel about potentially covering other games like point and click or other adventure games if they fit within the remit of having some sort of butterfly effect impact and multiple endings? You know what? There's a list of games I have in the Steam family, and I remember like seeing them as a kid. I think an older brother or like my dad was playing it once or something. But I don't know if you've heard of Grim Fandango. It's like you're this like Mexican Day of the Dead, the skull and the cloak and the hat or whatever, and it's like a point and click where you have to go around and stuff, and that looks pretty fun, and I wouldn't mind doing that on the channel at some point. So yeah, no, point and click, definitely. It's kind of in the realm of what we do. Obviously, there would
Mm.
probably need to be some choice element. But then again, every now and then I'll play a game like Repo or Peak or Little Nightmares. So like, obviously I wouldn't let it dominate the channel, but every now and then, sure, why not? If I feel like playing a game, I'll happily play it.
Yeah, I mean, even like say like recently, like the bunker was almost very point and clicky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How you move the character from point to point. I've played point and clicks before. There's one Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders. That was years ago that I played that. That was very point and clicky as well. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's the thing. We are very much like butterfly effect people, but at the same time, look at us, we do walking sims. So like if there's like a sort of an avenue that we're interested in and we want to go down, it's not like absolutely ruled out, you know. So look, never say never.
Yeah. Tiger, what D&D class most, pardon me, fits your personality? I would also add Jack too, but I don't think he's ever played it. No, Jack has played a bit of D&D at one point in time. I think you have.
I have, yeah.
Um,
I don't remember too much about it, but sorry, mate. Go on, you go
I
first.
was gonna say, yeah, like what were you again when you played it?
It was it. Is it? I was the medic. Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
I think.
Yeah. So like, it was the funniest lunchtime at college. We were sat in like it's called the garden room, but it's basically where you had your lunch, and everyone that was playing it did not want to play it. Apart from one person, and I absolutely loved it because I was the medic character. So like people were getting killed off, and they were like, "Oh, what a shame! I've been killed off. I can't play anymore." But I'm there as the medic, and I'm like, "But don't worry, I'm gonna bring you back." And I'll keep on like bringing the people back into the game, and just the whole thing. It was so different, like the narrating of it, like the natural RPG of it. Like it was just something very, very different that I thought was hilarious at the time.
Yeah, like I probably won't be able to get it in time, but like I would show my D&D character. But yeah, like I did a campaign recently. It never kind of materialized or progressed in the end. We did a few sessions and I did have a lot of fun with it, but yeah, I was it's almost like if I had to describe it, Puss in Boots, but French. So it was like a halfling. It was half human, half cat, and like it was I was a bard because apparently bards are really common. Everyone wants to be the bard, but when my friend group did it, they all wanted to be good at the combat element. So I kind of just went up to like the game maker and I was like, look, what do you need? Like, I'll fill in the spot because like I want these guys to have fun, so I'll let them pick first. Then come to me and I'll be what you need. And they're like, look, I weirdly I don't have a bard. Can you do that? I'm like, yeah, great. Because it's like I'm more interested in the role play elements of like talking in taverns and doing the swindling and like the chatting and the charisma stuff. So I very much enjoyed being a bard because it was like I put on a French accent, I had my little cat character with a lute, but he was also like a thief, like almost a bit of like a Suicide Squad. So we were like bad eggs, and I was like trying to reform. So like every now and then I would have this like dealings with like the dungeon master where like I could pickpocket people at random times. So we'd go out for like a smoke break, and I'd be like, oh, can I just pickpocket this person? It's like, oh yeah, go on, roll a dice. It's like sweet, and he would like transfer the coins and stuff into my like pouch, and it was pretty funny. So yeah, like definitely like the bard element. I definitely like doing like the charisma elements. Like if I main Fallout 4, I put all my points into charisma and I just like swindling, avoiding combat if I can. I like the persuasion techniques. Um what I'd most be like, I probably like a ranger. I see myself as someone who's like not at the forefront of the combat but in the background. So yeah, bard or ranger, take your pick. But I don't really know too much about the D&D world. So yeah, like I couldn't go too in detail with the answer, I'm afraid. Oh, Arkham, you've seen Elfen Lied. That's sick. I thought it was quite a rare anime, but I like that you've seen that. What else have we got? Jack sounded like you played a life cleric. I was gonna say, yeah, it's like a cleric or druid. I was gonna say, but yeah, I think you were a cleric. Jack, you once told me you were thought about writing a book. Are you still looking into that?
100%. Like I said earlier, not necessarily a New Year's resolution person, but if I had to pick one thing, yeah, this is something I've been saying for a while. I keep getting ideas and writing them down. So next year, that is one of my ambitions. Set time aside and actually start plotting something out and writing something, because it's not even like I want to become an established author and well known. I mean, obviously, if that was to happen, great. But it's one of them things where it's sort of a little solo thing for me to do, something to express. And I've known when I've like done sort of similar exercises before that I've got a lot of enjoyment out of it. So yeah, 100%. That's something I want to do this year.
Sweet. I reckon now that we're at the end of the questions, we probably start wrapping up. So, guys, maybe put in your last questions. We'll probably cap it soon. So, Tiger put, a long time ago, I think it was about a year ago, you sent me a beta test quiz for the channel. That quiz never happened. What happened? Yeah, no, I do. I appreciate you doing the beta test for answering the questions. But yeah, I don't think that video is ever going to happen. I mean, I'll just say what it is. Like, it was a Life is Strange double exposure quiz, but it never really materialized for two reasons. One, Life is Strange double exposure flopped, and like I don't think anyone really wants a quiz about a game that's not brilliant, that's not really well received in Life is Strange double exposure. But equally, like we needed a certain amount of guests to do it, and we like I'm not going to name names, it's nothing, like their fault or whatever, but we had a name in mind that we wanted to do the quiz for, but it never materialized, so it kind of just fell down by the wayside a little bit. But that's what happens on the channel. Like Jack and I will have meetings, we'll have a lot of video ideas. Some video ideas get scrapped, sometimes we record it and then it turns out it's not best for purpose, so we do like a lot of reshoots and stuff. There's a lot that goes into it, but yeah, sometimes, yeah, like we'll have an idea, we'll do a beta test for a video and then it gets scrapped. Like I had a recent really cool video idea where I wanted to play the new Skate game and I wanted to edit my character to look like Chloe Price, and I just wanted to do some cool skateboard tricks in the world of Skate and put like a Life is Strange rock song over it, and I thought that could be a really cool video and it'd just be like a 3-minute fun video. But then Skate, it's one of those free games where everything's locked behind microtransactions in game, and the creation tool is really bad. Like you couldn't even have blue hair. So I had this character look nothing like Chloe, none of the clothes because you had to pay for a lot of it. So I just was like, no one can recognize this character as Chloe. I've made it as close as I can. Um, and yeah, the game is just like filled with like corporate go. I don't know. It's just it wasn't a great game, and I just was like, yeah, I'm gonna scrap this video. But I put a lot of resources and time into like getting the game, installing it, like kitting up my character, learning all the tricks, getting all the skills, getting good at the game so I can make this video. A lot of time went into that, and the video's not even happened. I don't think it will. So it's just one of those ones where when you do content creation, not every idea is going to materialize. But sweet. Jack, what have we got next? That's great, Jack. Maybe at some point we can talk about our struggles and maybe help each other out. Up to you, though. It's cool to talk struggles with other aspiring authors.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be completely down for that. It's I remember doing a creative writing course at uni with one of our mates, John, who actually had a little cameo in our recent Cribs video. If you want to go back and check that out, and yeah, like it was fantastic bouncing ideas off one another. Writers hit the wall at one point, don't they? So yeah, I think it's very, very good to have people around that know what you're on about. So 100% Sonia.
Sweet.
What's this from Arkham? Favorite game / movie you've played, seen in 2025, and series if you've seen one too.
So for me, I'll start. You know what, mate? Like, with movie, I was gonna say Sinners, which I saw in the cinema, but earlier this week, I saw what might be my favorite horror film of all time. Have you heard of a recent film called Weapons?
I've heard of it,
Okay,
yes.
so it's by Zach Kreger, who did a recent film called Barbarian. I don't know if you've ever seen films like Magnolia and 1114, but they're essentially films where like it films someone's perspective and then it will like rewind and then it will film someone else's perspective. So you slow like basically the whole mystery of the film is that at 2:17 a.m. one night, a bunch of kids in this town just run out the front door of their house and just run into the night and they go missing all at the same time, and there's loads of like ring doorbell footage of these kids like doing this like Naruto runaway. and then it's just a big mystery of like what happened to these kids, like what's going on. And first it will follow the perspective of like the teacher who's getting like heckled by all the parents, like, are you responsible, what happened? And then like you'll see her, and then it goes through the perspective of like one of the dads of like the, you know, missing kids. Then it will like talk about a perspective of like one of the cops, and then each perspective slowly paints the picture. But what I love about it is that each perspective is done in a different light, almost like biased on their end, like they're the one storytelling it, and it's really clever. And then like the not exactly twist, but like the way it unravels and you find out what actually happens, like the whole thing is shot brilliantly. It's like not too focused on the horror. There's gore in there as well, so you have to have the stomach for that. But honestly, if anyone wants a good horror film, I really recommend Weapons. Brilliant, brilliant movie. So yeah, movie it's Weapons.
Mm.
Game, I mean, I've just started Dispatch, like it, but like I mean, probably lost records, Blooming Rage by default. I still really enjoyed it, but like probably not as memorable as I would have hoped it would be. But I still had a good time with it, so probably that one. And as for series, I don't really know. I guess like I've not really watched that many new series to be honest, so I couldn't really comment on that one.
As for me, favourite game, I mean, I suppose I'd say Indiana Jones because there was like a DLC that come out. However, lately I've been playing Arkham Knight. I played Arkham Asylum years ago and I enjoyed it. And I understand that Arkham Knight is like the last one in the trilogy, although I know that there's 4 games. But I was actually looking because then there was on the store recently a remaster of Asylum and City. But I looked at the reviews and apparently the game's really broken, so I didn't buy it. And I looked on Game Pass and I saw that Arkham Knight was on there. So I've been playing that and I really like that. As far as favourite movie, I'm trying to think. It's probably the Mission Impossible. I've not been to the cinema much this year, and I'd probably say the Mission Impossible, the most recent one for that. Series wise, it's got to be Celebrity Traitors. I
Oh
was going to
yeah,
say
same.
House of the Dragon, but I'm a big Traitors fan. Liam is as well, and yeah, Celebrity Traitors. Love the concept. Always interesting. It looks very much at how people operate. It sort of informs a lot about humans in general and just the whole thing. It's just really well put together. Like the remix of like modern or like old songs and that. Yeah, I'd probably say that's my favourite series.
Yeah, it was pretty fun as well hosting a werewolves game at your stack as well. That was really fun to do as well.
Yeah.
So one last question. We'll start with you, Jack. How have you both been overall, and how are your families and pets?
Yeah. Overall good. Which is obviously positive. As far as the families and pets, yeah, all going well, looking after one another, no worries on that end.
Yeah, likewise for me. Family all good. Lovely to see everyone at Christmas. Hope to see more of them next year. Pets brilliant. Like as of yesterday, I've had my 2 rescues for a year. And yeah, they're great. Onyx is like the sweetest little angel. She wouldn't harm a fly. She's like really cuddly, like really innocent. Nero is like a little shit, but I love him. Like like the boy of the brother and sister combo is the worst one. Like the most telling thing is like when they wake me up in the morning, Onyx will come up first. It's like, oh, you're still sleeping. That's okay. I'll cuddle by you, and when you wake up, I'll have breakfast. Then that's no problem. And like, will cuddle up to me, and then Nero just kicks the door open, and he'll just like run up to my face and just like start punching me and poking me to wake me up. And if that doesn't work, he'll like chew my vinyls, my books up, knock stuff off the shelves, rip up my bins, and I'm like, well, I've got to get out of bed now and feed you. And he's like, oh, you might as well feed me now you're up. So yeah, Nero's a little dirtbag, but I wouldn't change him. I absolutely love the little guy. So yeah, but sweet. But Jack, mate, that is another successful Q&A of 2025.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
2026, Directive 8020, finally. It's been delayed long enough, so we finally get to play that. What else have we got? There's another major one I'm
Dispatch,
missing.
obviously.
Dispatch. Yeah, of course, Dispatch. And yeah, hopefully we can get to like some other games, whether it's Life is Strange: True Colors, maybe a New Frontier, maybe stuff like as Dust Falls and Road 96 and Firewatch. So yeah, there's a lot on the cards, to be honest. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, no, thank you everyone for supporting us as always. You know, and hopefully 2026 is another successful year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. For everyone that's left a comment, liked a video, commented on a video, hyped a video, which is a new thing now on YouTube. We love doing what we do, and it's obviously great talking to you. It wouldn't be half as fun. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your year and new year. And yeah, take care.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you all soon.
Bye.